What is up, bros and broettes? I am Inkslasher, and welcome to Shaolin Shuffle. Yes, today we get to look at the newest zombies map in Infinite Warfare in DLC 2 called Shaolin Shuffle, and it's a really interesting map. I've been stoked to show you guys all week, and if you didn't already know, earlier this week I got flown down to LA by Activision to actually play some Infinite Warfare DLC 2 a little bit early, and in doing so, I got to play Shaolin Shuffle, and let me tell you, this map is a lot of fun. So the thing with Infinite Warfare that probably impresses me the most out of any Call of Duty game is how good the zombies are, because going into it, I did not expect what Infinity Ward put forth. Not to mention, I didn't expect how good their DLC maps really were going to be. And the impressive part about all of their zombies DLC maps is they're all so different. If we look at the very first zombies map in Infinite Warfare, we got Zombies in Spaceland. Then we got Raven the Redwood, which is drastically different than Zombies in Spaceland. And now we got Shaolin Shuffle, which is drastically different than the other two maps altogether. Versus Treyarch, who pretty much every single map, there's definitely large differences, but for the most part, they have the same kind of vibe and spooky feel to them. So it's really good to see a different company, i.e. Infinity Ward over Treyarch, do something a little bit different and kind of put a big twist on the zombies altogether. And I really do like to see that, and I'm really impressed with what has happened so far with the zombies. Not to mention the different aspects that they add into the zombies maps to make them fun. And we're going to talk about that, what is new, and everything like that in this video today. So the one thing that I will say about this map is there are a ton of little Easter eggs on this map. And I don't mean relating to like the overarching Easter egg where you get the cutscene. I mean just like smaller pop culture references and that kind of thing. And I actually found quite a few of them while we were playing at Infinity Ward. So if you would like to see a video where I kind of show you those smaller Easter eggs, because some of them are really cool, the way to show me is by hitting that like button. Let's say if this video gets 1,000 likes, I will upload the video of the smaller Easter eggs as soon as that happens. So if you want to see that, hit that like button, but let's actually talk about the map itself and the new gameplay mechanics added in. So let's start off with the basics. Let's look at the setting of the map. So based off of the name Shaolin Shuffle, you would expect it to take place in a place like maybe Hong Kong, Japan, China, that kind of thing. However, based on the name, that is absolutely not what it is. It takes place in the 1970s in New York, and basically, they always have this theme where you take place in a movie, and this movie is a kung fu disco style movie. It's a very odd style, but it really does work. The music in this map is great, and the overall arcing kind of theme to it works so damn well. So what are these gameplay mechanics that I keep talking about? So looking back at Raven the Redwoods, the gameplay mechanic in that map was the melee weapons. You got these melee weapons at the beginning of the game, and they could basically carry you through till round 10, or about that, and it made it a lot easier at the beginning of the game. That is not the case in this map whatsoever. In Shaolin Shuffle, you get these basically chi abilities, which are these like kung fu abilities that you can level up throughout playing it. Now, how do you level them up? Basically, whenever you pick up one of these chi bottles, if you want to call them that, it gives you a special ability. One of them is Crane, one of them is Dragon, Snake, and finally Tiger. Now, with these abilities, it gives you sometimes melee combat, sometimes these shurikens that you can throw and they sometimes explode, and other abilities based on which chi bottle you actually grabbed. From when we were playing, the chi bottle that I think most of the YouTubers that I was playing with actually liked the most was, I believe, Snake. But that being said, we had a very limited playtime, so that might change as more people get their hands on the different abilities and get to try them out a little bit more. But in a basic sense, I'm pretty sure most of us enjoyed the Snake abilities the most. Now, how exactly do you get these abilities, and how do you level them up? So the basic premise behind this is, as always in a zombies map, you start off in a room. Once you leave that original room, as soon as you get out of that area, you're going to see a dojo. In that dojo, there's going to be Pam Grier sitting in there, and she's basically going to tell you, you are not ready for these abilities yet, you need to slay a certain monster in order to actually unlock these abilities. So once about round 5 hits, you're going to face these zombies who are on rollerblades, and if they get too close, they'll explode. They're kind of like from the Zombies in Spaceland, they're kind of like the clowns from that map. So once you get past that round, you can go back to Pam Grier, and inside the dojo, you're going to have a choice of the 4 bottles. Of course, those are the 4 different types of chi. Once you get those, it's going to give you a challenge. The first one is get 25 melee combat kills with whatever special type of chi you actually chose. And in completing these challenges, you unlock new abilities in your select type of chi. However, this chi doesn't last forever. What you actually have to do is when you run out of chi, you have to run around the map looking for another one of the gourd-looking things that match the color of chi you are already using. Once you find one on the wall, you can drink it, and once again, you have a limited time of chi available to your disposal. As far as how hard it is to level up these abilities, it didn't seem very hard whatsoever. In fact, Noah, who was sitting beside me, was playing solo and managed to level up every single chi ability to the maximum level in one game, which is pretty damn impressive, and that's hard to do, but leveling up one ability tree isn't so hard whatsoever. And in fact, if you're wondering the best possible way to level up the chi abilities, there's this area underground that you can get to. It's kind of like in the sewers, and it's a super wide open area, super easy to create zombie trains. There's also a trap in that room, and that tended to be the best area to actually work and level up your different chi abilities. So a couple of other things that we didn't get to discover in this map but are absolutely in it are two things: nunchucks and a katana. So we could see the katana on the wall in the dojo, but none of us actually figured out how to unlock it. As far as nunchucks go, I don't believe anyone we were playing with actually even saw the nunchucks whatsoever. So we were actually able to talk to Lee Ross a little bit, and we asked him about the katana and if there was an easy way to actually get it. What he told us was, first of all, I'm not giving you any hints, and second of all, is that comparable to Raven the Redwood, in the trailer it seems like you would get it right at the very beginning, like Raven the Redwoods. However, in this map, the katana is actually something you unlock way later in the map. I'm assuming, he didn't tell us this, but I'm assuming you may have to complete some of the Easter egg steps to actually unlock the katana itself. So one other kind of new thing on this map is the power. The way you turn on the power in this map is a little bit different. So on this map, you have to turn on multiple power sources, kind of like in Zombies in Spaceland. In Raven the Redwoods, you only had one power source to turn on, so it's kind of going back to that kind of thing. So once you turn on one power thing, it's going to turn on power in a select limited area. So as far as the Easter egg goes, which is I'm sure what a lot of you are wondering about, I really didn't find much to do with the Easter egg whatsoever. However, the one thing Lee Ross did tell me as I was asking him questions about the zombie map and him giving me barely any answers whatsoever, the one thing that he did tell me is that the one thing they wanted to take away in this map that was very prevalent in Raven the Redwoods was wall scrubbing, which is basically just running along walls and holding square. And I think one of the reasons for that is that they wanted to make this Easter egg a little bit more difficult than Raven the Redwoods. Speaking of which, how does this map compare to Raven the Redwoods? So first of all, I think it's a little bit more difficult. The reason why I say that is you don't get that melee weapon that you get at the beginning of Raven the Redwoods, which I thought made that map a lot easier. On top of that, the way this map is designed, I found that there's a lot less space to create trains, except for that one spot we talked about earlier. At least that's what I found. I found it a little bit more difficult to survive than Raven the Redwoods. I found that I had a little bit less areas to run, and overall, I just found it basically more difficult than Raven the Redwoods. Whether that's true, I have no idea. I'm not the best zombies player in the world, but I found it just a little bit more close quarters, if you ask me. As far as what gameplay mechanic I like better, I think I like Shaolin Shuffle actually quite a bit better than Raven the Redwoods. The reason why I say that is because the way they do the chi, how you can level it up and seemingly get just stronger and stronger with your chi abilities, makes you feel exactly that, like you're getting better and better at the map and more capable of actually completing different things. And that feels really, really good, and something that isn't normally in a zombies map whatsoever, aside from like maybe pack-a-punching a gun or something like that. On top of that, I'm really curious to see what the katana and nunchucks actually do when people unlock them, because like I said, no one we were playing with actually figured out how to get them. But I'm actually really curious to see what you guys have to say, because this map is vastly different than the other two zombies maps we already have in Infinite Warfare. If we look at Raven the Redwoods, that was more of like a gritty, almost kind of scary map compared to this, which is kind of like a little bit funny if you ask me. And I think it's really amazing, the differences that they put out in their zombies maps. It really keeps it fresh, and that's something I always like to see, and not only just Call of Duty and zombies, but any video game out there whatsoever. So like I said, I'm really curious to see what you guys think about Shaolin Shuffle compared to the other zombies maps, or maybe even compared to the Treyarch zombies as well. So as I mentioned earlier, guys, if you want to see a video showing off some of the smaller Easter eggs on this map, hit that like button and let me know. On top of that, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I upload new Call of Duty videos every single day of the week, and if that's something you're interested in, that subscribe button is sitting there with your name on it. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.